Okay, I'll be honest with y'all. I have done this video 3 times today. Um, the first one I had with Pharisees, and they were a little faster, but I just didn't think they were as strong and it wasn't as overall consistent. And then the second one, I brought in Sadducees, and it didn't have Daenerys or Nero. And I started breaking down the whole video, and I wasn't recording. So this is the third time. Anyway, welcome to Thoughts About Jaden's Floor. This is Tyler Stevens. I'm just kidding. That's not the name. As awesome as that would be, it's kind of weird. I don't know what's on Jaden's floor. Um, but I do wonder, right? Hence the name. So this deck, I've shared this offense before. This one's slightly different. The whole point of this video, I'm talking with my hands if you guys can see. There's no video. The whole point of this that I'm doing right now for this deck is to show you a glimpse at what I think the speed, consistency, overall meta of Golden Cross is going to be. Daenerys, Sadducees, Meek Soul, stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be the entire meta, obviously, but I think people are going to be playing first. You're going to see this, and if they're playing the first, they absolutely should be going to Golden Calf and the Cross. So I put together an offense that I really like. It had a bunch of other stuff in there. At first, it was supposed to be just generally good cards. That's what this deck is called, generally good cards. And it's at 53. As per usual, when I test a deck, I get it around anywhere from 50 to 54. And I start cutting as I build and stuff like that. But this had Dutiful Priest, Gifts and Offering in the reserve with Tabernacle and Glory. And I was able to use my little New Covenant trick with Book and New Covenant, Offering Your Son and Moses' Staff to recycle as needed. But also I was able to band to Dutiful Priest and go recur with Tabernacle through recycling. Anyway, I want to showcase what I think people are going to be going up against as far as strong offenses, but real consistent decks. This used to have St. Patrick in it as well with Noah, and I had no Life in the Sun, and I was just trying to just be as consistent as possible. It was a little too consistent. I didn't need all that, and just because it has a bunch of drawing and searching doesn't mean it's consistent. You really want to match up with the brigades and make sure you can play everything outside. So I could probably drop this 53 cards. I could probably drop Slave in Egypt, bringing down to 52. I tested it without Nero Daenerys. Gabe will make fun of me, but I did test it without, and not having that extra search one, draw three was massive. So that's back in, and because that's back in, I lost my shield in reserve. So without further ado, I'm going to try to showcase the consistency, speed, and overall lockdown of Golden Calf, the Golden Crosses, as I call it, Golden Calf, the Cross, Achim, and people like Achim, Enosh, and Jesse and Obed that do a bunch of stuff, which Ruth, yeah, I think that's the no one talks about, but that's like the strongest aspect of Ruth is you can play some other colors with Ruth and have everything with Jesse Obed easily. But I digress. All right, so this is same offense, similar to last time, where you can throw in Noah into the band and have CBN enhancements off Moses, and you can play first. You recycle everything and all that craziness. It's just when you have offering your son, Emmaus Road, Covenant with Moses, you're at and delivered, you're at an advantage of the opponent when you cannot slam those into decks when they actually fit appropriately. Don't always listen to what I say. When these cards, especially Emmaus Road, Offering Your Son, Delivered, fit into decks and you use them appropriately, you're at a massive consistency and card advantage over your opponent. So with that being said, I wanted to bring in Covenant with Moses and Life in the Sun. I wanted to have territory class draws. That's why this originally had Pretension as well, and Balaam's Prophecy and all that stuff. You're going to see it at Nationals. Wanted to showcase it. So hopefully I'm recording. There it is. All right, so let's go to new game, load, and draw 8. I like I usually show just offense or Old Testament unity, Old Testament souls, or Galileans, New Testament unity, lost souls. I do think you drop covet and bring in humble with the negating going around. I do think that's probably the best overall bet. This one does have meek souls. So let's see. We already got it. We got harvest time and surreptitious scheme. So we got everything we need. I like to, this is gold fishing. I like when goldfish is just simulation, go through the motions of your deck. Right now it's end of March. We're gearing up for tournament season. What I mean by that is when, or why that's important to me is when I goldfish at this time right now, I go first to see how consistent my deck is and what it can do with less resources, meaning I don't get to draw 3. When I gear up for gold fishing competitively, I'll keep like a little token out or something, and that's going to be a golden calf or the cross and or both. Keep both of those out, and then you have to play test your decks against what you think you're going to see. And if you don't always get to play games like me against other people, you need to really study and simulate correctly. And in doing that, you need to put up some tough obstacles to go around. Alrighty, so I drew one. Look at my stars. None. So, oh, draw X. Good dominance in all discard piles. Anyway, so it's my turn. I get to go first. I am going to want to pretty much immediately go to everything that I can. More than likely, I'm going to draw into, so I'm going to take this first because I already played it. I'm going to take gospel character. I like to take people that don't band or are protected so I can get them with clinging. So I also like him probably first as well. Okay, if only he said protect instead of ignore, right? So I'll get that first. Might as well put the Lost Soul in Golgotha. And I do have a High Priest. So make sure you know what you're doing prior to. I try to emphasize, know what's in your deck, know why you have it. I usually play Storehouse first. Storehouse comes down. That's not always the best play, but more than likely you can't just assume they have something to block like a King Tiggy or something, Goliath, and you have a hero in your hand. But know what you're going to do prior to doing it. So I do have a Tabernacle Priest, which means I can get a Covenant from my deck. And probably going to want to go to Cove Moses. I'm just putting that out. The only other one I have is Covenant with David. And I took out the Tabernacle, so all I have is Storehouse in here now. But I could get out a Sight. And when I look at my hand, and yes, I'm about to draw a bunch. Do I need a Covenant to draw 3 more? Maybe. But I do think the better move is to probably get out a Sight. And then you got to see, all right, I'm probably going to want to get Egypt. Well, I can't play this on him, so I'm going to have to hit off of Scheme and Harvest Time into something. So that's just a risk I'm willing to take. Just double check, kind of see everything. Alrighty, I think we're going to take the risk because we're going to draw right here. We're going to take Covenant with David. Usually I would shuffle. They already know I have this card. So, but if opponent uses search ability, kind of want this one down instead. I say that because I'm playing Surreptitious. You may take an evil New Testament card from reserve or deck. I'm going to deck, and I can take an evil New Testament card. And remember, I need to get high places. In order to do that, I can just take Crowd's Choice, and I can play Crowd's Choice as evil and go to high places. Ta-da! Gonna want to put high places down. This will be discarded, and I can shuffle. You're gonna draw a lot, so you want to make sure, okay, how much am I gonna draw? So do I have enough space in my hand? I'm not really thinking it all the way through. I'm not doing the full math, but I think 3 cards in my hand is enough. Because I think you draw 6 lost souls and it's pretty much times 2, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're good here. So I play Harvest Time, go to deck, and I'm gonna play Harvest Time for 6 to, and even if Meek Souls come out early and it's like kind of a whiff on a Harvest Time, it's still a good card later on, especially with like some DOUs and some other shuffling of souls going around. It's just a good soul gen, so it's not horrible. It's still a good card. So I play that, and that gets shuffled. So and then you got to activate them correctly. And since I already have a Meek Soul out, this is going to be the correct activation. Is I get to draw 1 top deck. Put this in play. I get to draw 1 off high places. Draw 1. I always forget if I drew 1 to yeah. Top deck. Put this down. Draw 1 off high places. This, draw 1 to replace, draw 1, top deck, put this down, draw 1, replace, draw 1, top deck, put down, high places, replace, draw 1, top deck, put this down, high places, draw 1, replaced. Was I even doing that? See, I'm trying to think of the video. I feel like I missed a draw. Whatever. I thought I should be at 14. Maybe not. Okay, so here we go. And now we have a teal guy, so we kind of want to start already going into things. Can we put down, we don't have Moses, but we do have, you got to look at what you're doing first. Like before I play Covenant with Moses and get a draw 3, I'm going to want to go through my deck and take some stuff out first, but you also got to know, when am I taking Emmaus Road and Offering in Sun? Like, what am I doing with this? And when am I play it? So first, we play Pharaoh's Daughter, and we don't need that as good. You usually only use that as good to get Covenant with Moses, draw 3 in a pinch, and you can go to Moses. You can put down Shipra and her. We have, let me take Moses from the, we can play this to grab a site or good fortress. Really, we're doing that because we just want to get Egypt out of there, because at this point you may play this site, you may take an evil Egyptian, which is only Pharaoh's Daughter, a Genesis or Exodus fortress, which is only Storehouse, or Gold Curse from deck. That I don't have any other targets. They're all out, and I know this. So instead of me wasting a draw, I just want to play my Covenant. So now I want to get these cards shuffled back in. So I'm going to play Wages and go to deck and get out something with an evil card with a discard ability. And probably just take an enhancement here. Shuffle, bring to bottom of deck. And we can't use this yet. I like getting Jehoshaphat out with this next turn. I might bring in Jehoshaphat into main deck if the deck's this fast. Just have the whole band first turn. Oh, you know what? I know how I can get the band first turn. Play this off Shipra, get a human hero from deck, and get out Slaves in Egypt. We're playing that as good. Take it to hand, but we're going to play it anyway, because we're going to do a Moses 2 Destroyer. Moses 2 Slaves in Egypt 2 Destroyer. So now our hands down, and we're probably still going to want to go to what remember, we're trying to get the Golden Calf and the Cross active first turn. So how do we get Golden Calf? Oh, I activated this. Boo. Still have a place for Golden Calf though. That's fine. That doesn't affect me actually. So that gets shuffled in. I have a spot to hold an idle. And now I go here for a star card. But remember, when we didn't play delivered yet. When we do this, we want to grab delivered because we're going to get to the cross. But remember, we're not going to be able to play DOMs. So let's just say they have 2 lost souls out. Okay, I get one. And then I'm going to draw. Actually, don't draw 3 yet because in order for delivered to work, you have to activate it from deck. I don't want to take the chance of drawing into the cross because I wouldn't be able to activate it because I already used my activation phase. So no, stop touching that. So we're going into delivered, going into the cross. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I have this over here. Yeah. So we could have gone to something else. Could have gone into a denarius, honestly, but that's good. This is out. This is out. Draw 3. Bing, boom, boom. We already have high places, so we could keep this for just having that. Do we even want to draw more? Like, we can't mayhem here because we have the cross active. I do have another spot for an artifact. I keep saying I gotta look at the rules for artifact activation because I do so much. Remember, this is turn 1. So now I can take a plague from deck. Okay, so now the only thing I'm really quote unquote missing is Achim and Noah. But I'm at 15 cards left in deck. If I really wanted to, I can get to less. Like, I do have this active, but yeah, I couldn't get to less. I don't know what I'm talking about. So now we already have, and we have a big attack already. So want to see what's the best attack here. You can ban to an Old Testament green prophet, CBI. You really want to get heroes in battle early on. Bans to an Exodus. You may capture this character to opponent's land of bondage to take an Exodus fortress from deck or reserve. Already have it. That's Genesis. And add an Exodus character to battle. So this goes to them, and they're just going to give it to me anyway. Let's say that. And this goes to the Destroyer. If they block, I get to play regardless of protect. So I can play this. Let's say they have something and I play the negate. I discard this. I discard their top 5. So their top 5 is discarded. And I have Golden Calf and the cross up. That was first turn. And I have a Mayhem in hand if needed. Pretty nasty. So, and if you use a search ability, I get to start underdecking. So pretty good. If blocking, negate a good card, you can ban. So I'd probably go. I really wouldn't want to draw anymore. And yes, if I go up against the mirror, I do have Noah for Meek for the cross. I throw him in battle and win. The blocking to get a good card, may banned. It's still turn 1, so I can't access my reserve. Prevent the get next. Active player may reveal if they do not. Protect Meek lost souls from rescue. So I'd probably do that as my band. If needed, I can play this to negate and discard. Unless I thought, depending on the hero, I would put down I would block, or I would ban from Emphatic to High Priest, depending on the hero, to see if they have dual brigade. Like if it's a single brigade hero, probably want High Priest. So yeah, there it was. Golden Cross is down first turn. Star, look at your hand. Discard an evil card from hand to draw 1. I can't play Dominance, and I already have my high places out, so unless I flip over the cross to get a draw 6, there's really no point. So I would discard this for a draw 1. Upkeep, I get to go to reserve. This is my second turn. So now I get to go to a reserve. If I want another draw 3, I have it. I'd rather go to, see if I get Eternal Covenant. I can get Eternal Covenant from book, so I can get Oath of Purity from Storehouse. Let's see what my attack's gonna be. My attack's gonna be this going into Virgin Birth to go to a big Noah band. And I'm gonna have Moses' staff to take a regardless of protect CBN. So I'll take Oath of Purity with Storehouse, and then artifact. Let me look at all these artifacts out. Book of the Covenant hits, and I could take one from deck or reserve. I go to reserve. I'm going to activate Eternal Covenant and go to discard. Bring them back. Oh no, I have it right there. I can't get Jehoshaphat. Whoops, misplay. I'll go here. Bounce to hand. Moses' staff goes to. I took out Death of Firstborn because it was so consistent at the cross first turn if I wanted, and I kind of do want. So probably just go straight to that. Play Emmaus Road, and you still have a big band. Yeah, you can still do it. I wanted Jehoshaphat for Destroyer first turn, but I still had a band. So I take Moses with that, and I could take Achim, but there's no point because I don't have my Moses out yet. So now I'll play this as well just to get it back in my deck. Look through it. That's New Testament. No covenants. Nothing to take. Shuffle. I just want the star ability. So now I could also shuffle this back in, take something from reserve. It's a oh, this one's the discard. Yeah, that card's really good because Wages is Sin and Cling to Power takes it. Send to bottom of deck. So now I got to know what my attack's going to be. My attack is going to be Moses to Aaron to ban to a Tabernacle who bans to an Old Testament green. Remember, I kind of put this out prior to see what I'm going to do. Unless it's Cherubim, I'll put stuff out to the side that I think I'm going to do and then end it with either her with Cherubim or Destroyer or whatever. So that was going to be my attack moving forward. I have a CBN regardless of protect, and I prevent cards moving forward. So I would attack, flip, shuffle a card if needed, if it worked, if it's to my advantage. Nothing here that I really need to shuffle on the board for me that I care about. And then if they can block a big band that's prevented, I don't get to play first, but it's not bad. So if they had some sort of the Roman defense that I've shown before, I could play regardless of protect. If played in battle, bounce up to one character controlled by each player. If I want to put an evil character back in my hand, which is really good to do with all the AOCs running around. So play that. It'd be good to go. It'd be their turn. Remember, they cannot. Now all I'm missing is just an Achim to negate their neutrals, and that kind of sucks. I couldn't get that out right away, but they can't play dominance, and I got to play my Son of God, right? And their characters are negated, and they can't play enhancements. Like, thanks for playing, I guess. So if they attack, I don't have the greatest blocks here, but I can do some banding with an interrupt, and I get to prevent the first good card you play, and this is CBP, so it's very good. And I'm not worried about dominance anymore. I get to draw one and top deck discard. I get to discard an evil card from my hand. Discard this to draw one, to put this down, to draw one, top deck this card. Good, got my Achim. Noah's in play. Remember, I was looking at slamming that down right away because I got excited. That's amateur hours. Don't do that because it's now upkeep. go to storehouse, and I can get out. Oh, yeah, I use my virgin birth, so I have no way to get Jehoshaphat from deck. I do. I just got to go to New Covenant and activate New Covenant, and then I would just underdeck virgin birth from what do you call it, from deck, and then Emmaus Road to him. I don't really know. Yeah, I guess I do need them because you're going to want to go to the Destroyer. So yeah, I'll take, actually, Book of the Covenant's going to take that Covenant. I will take Plague of Blood. Well, Moses' Staff can take that. So I can take this with Moses' Staff. I can take this with Storehouse, and I can take this with Book of the Covenant. So I will take this. Book of the Covenant gets to draw one. That. Oh, that's to replace it. That draws one in top decks. And then that's upkeep. Book of the Covenant is active. I get to take a Covenant from reserve. Moses' Staff, or then I get to do Book of the Covenant, which can take, I'd rather bounce Noah, and I don't need to do this. So I would turn this over, bounce Noah to hand, and then I get to activate a Covenant on there, which would then underdeck my virgin birth, and this goes first. Send to bottom of deck, send to bottom of hand. What are you doing? Send to bottom of deck. And then I get to play Emmaus Road, go to deck. What do you know? This shuffles into deck. Do I need anything from here? Not really. Shuffle, play this, take a human hero from reserve, discard, go to reserve, take out Jehoshaphat. Moses' Staff hits. I get to take out a Plague. Pretty crazy, huh? This deck is wild. So now I have Achim down. Was this turn 3 or 4? I don't even need that. I can play Feast of Boost. I can banish cards from your discard pile to draw 3. Because Plague of Hail hit, Plague of Hail can hit stuff. Want to hit stuff from reserve. I can get out a Protector Band. Protect. Send to bottom of deck. So we're good. I can play Offering Your Son and get back my New Covenant. And this is why Golden Cross is so strong, because I get to do all my stuff and you don't. And you just kind of sit there while I do all this. And just so you know, High Priest Plot can be used before you attack to reserve a good card from opponent's hand. And a good card from opponent's hand can be Chronicles, Three Woes, or Crouch Choice, or Duels. So just keep that in mind. This is a really good card that I don't see enough people using. Joe Schaefer will vehemently agree with me. So yeah, I can look at their hand if I want to reserve. If I think, you know what, I'm gonna win soon, so I'm gonna look at their hand and reserve a quote unquote good card. I have a Plague of Blood that I can play first, which it isn't a battle winner, unless I reveal something. And I have Cherubim. This, I'm almost inclined to take out Plague of Blood and bring in Darkness, I think it is, to withdraw all. As much as I love the thought of taking, you have to get around their storehouse, and Plague of Darkness just to withdraw all, regardless of Protect with Moses' Staff. I think that's the better play, is have a regardless of Protect, withdraw all that you get to play first off Jehoshaphat with Destroyer. So I have my big band. Cherubim, Zadok, Aaron. No. What are you doing? Cherubim, Moses, Aaron, Zadok, to Jehoshaphat bans to the Destroyer. And at the end of the game, you could also play Pharaoh's Daughter to have CBP stuff outside of battle if you needed that for any reason. Plagues outside of battle that are CBP are really good with Pharaoh's Daughter. No, you play that as evil as well. See, I ramble. So yeah, you would then attack with this, look at their hand, and then decide how you're going to finish the band. With that band anyway, you would know that either Noah or Destroyer. Yeah, I think this needs to be, I feel more comfortable with a Plague of Darkness here to withdraw all. But you could end it with Noah to prevent cards, or you ban to Destroyer, see if that's enough. And then you start just kind of going back to what you do. New Covenant next turn, and you get back Plague of Hail, and you discard more cards in their deck. What's really good about this is because you're running the cross in this version, it slams down the cross, it puts down Golden Calf, it puts immediate pressure. You also played Plague of Hail to where certain counters that they have in their deck are gone. And then you're milling them while you're drawing really fast. So if you can just go through with Plague of Hail, activate the cross, and at the very end, you ban to a, you switch up the band here. What is it? Yeah, Aaron to a Tabernacle to Zadok to Noah instead. You can still have, yeah, you don't even need any of that. And you would look at their hand first with Cherubim, but if you think you could win there with a big band that prevents cards, with regardless of protect CBN plagues, like I think you can win. Then the cross hits if you milled them and if they drew a bid and vice versa. So wanted to show how fast these decks are. I mean, I guess I was turn 3, but I had everything out turn 1. I had Golden Calf and the cross. It's extremely consistent because the whole deck does everything, and it's just scary. Like you don't get to play your stuff. So make sure you have thought process and weapons to get around Golden Calf and the cross. Like know how to get around it. And if you're like, how? Well, I have another video that I posted with postings that do a great job of getting around it. Have stuff in your deck that lets you draw outside of, like, that lets you draw in battle. Like Matthew, of course, he's running around everywhere, lying prophet. So characters that target artifacts in battle are real good. Star abilities that bounce, whatever. So if you negate my neutrals, you wouldn't, this allows for all this to still work. But yeah, if you negate my neutrals, like all this work stops working. And I don't really have a way to stop that. So I would have to play 3 woes and then start targeting your character that negates neutrals outside of that. So just think, knowing that all this craziness is going on, I just wanted to show how fast and consistent the craziness is. Even though I've shown this offense before with New Covenant, I wanted to show the deck with the cross in it where it stops you from doing anything, and the first makes it even more, potential there to not whiff. And I'm just going through my deck and discarding the top 5 of your deck every turn if I want. I have a big band that prevents cards, shuffles your stuff. So once again, like, negate characters in other territories. But if I bring in Noah and I shuffle, one of your cards, that's one of my ways to get around what you have. So a lot of speed right now in the meta, a lot of territory class, and you want to leverage that to your advantage and not your opponent's. And with a lot of people playing speed, if you can stop them before they stop you, and then you have a cross win con built in as well with Plague of Hail, I think it's really good. Like I said, I think blood comes out for whatchamacallit, for Plague of Darkness. But this deck is so fast that I don't need Feast of Boost. It's just in there for another turn 2, draw 3 if I have like a little stall. but it's not needed. So Plague of Blood can stay, and I can bring in Plague of Boost, or I can bring in another Plague and just have and take out Blood and take out Feast of Boost and have two different plagues. The one that restricts them from playing enhancements if they don't discard their top 5. Which I don't know. I feel like they'll just discard their top 5 and then obliterate me, but oh well. So there's other things I can do there. But anyway, wanted to show the speed of today's meta and the lockdown that's going down with Golden Cross, which is Calf, Cross, Achim. The recursion of mill 5 is crazy. Like I go Plague of Hail first turn. I get rid of your counters. I get rid of your dominance. I get rid of your dominance with Cherubim. I can get rid of your stuff with Plague of Blood. So then it comes down to luck. Like, did I get the right stuff, or did you? And it's heavily skewed in my favor. So, all right, that's all I got. I've been rambling long enough. So sorry, it was not a new offense per se. I had Disc Martyrs in another one, and I had like a 60 something 70 card deck, and I was showing how to take that and then break it all the way down to 50 and then play. It was such a sloppy video that I just abandoned it. So now I'm just going to test a Disc Martyr. I'm just trying to find other things that are fun about Disc Martyrs instead of just Matthew first turn and some CBN enhancements, because quite honestly, this right here crushes Martyrs. It really does. If you have the cross active with add to battle, like, and you don't play CBN stuff and they do, and they can't stop that, it's really good. Or if you throw down Coliseum with the cross and layer it, you're good. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed what I call the crazy. Like I said, this is not even fully tuned. This is 53. So it can get even more fine tuned. So enjoy your day. Hope you all liked. Thanks, y'all.